So welcome to the morning sounds of Bombo, the bird song and the cockerel. We now have a number of cockerels here, so we wake up to the triumphant notes of the male eager. I was talking to a friend of mine recently in London who contracted the virus at the beginning of the epidemic, and it lasted a few horrible days. He thought it might get worse and worse, but fortunately it got better and better. And he recovered quickly. He's quite healthy and quite young. And about 2 or 3 months later, he was having some quiet days and began to develop the same sort of symptoms. And the symptoms got worse, and he got very panicky. He was on his own for a few days, and went around opening all the windows, couldn't breathe. His heart was palpitating and generally feeling very desperate. And so eventually called the emergency services, who came very quickly to see him. He ran downstairs when the ambulance arrived. He was going to jump into the ambulance, but the woman who was in charge of this team said, no, let's examine you first. So she was obviously quite experienced. And so after doing all the basic tests, she looked at him and said, "You're perfectly okay. Your heart is okay, you don't have a temperature, your lungs are fine. There's really nothing for you to worry about." So he immediately felt better. And he said, "So it's all in my head?" And she said, "Well, have you been watching the news a lot?" And he said, "Yes, I watch it all the time now." And she said, "Well, stop watching it. Just pick up what you need to know at the beginning or the end of the day, but don't get addicted to it." Well, there are other stories which don't have such happy endings, of course, but it does make us aware of the power of the imagination and of the need to listen to other people, not to develop self-generated conspiracy theories and to think the worst. One of the ways we can do that is by realizing that the bell that is tolling for us to go back to the next meditation, to let go of all of our fantasies, all of our fears, all of that cycle of feedback, self-generated feedback, which can destroy our happiness and make us live in the imagination rather than in the wonder of reality.